wrestling fans. My name is Brian Crazy. You're watching my brand, That from Brand of Wrestling, and entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web. Since 2010, providing you with the wrestling news, reviews, rumors, insight that you're growing accustomed to. And you saw the title of this video. I am back with my review of this week's edition of the longest running weekly episodic television show in history. That's right, Monday Night Raw for Monday, December 17, 2012. It was a pretty good night on Raw. Tonight was the Slammy Awards, and it also featured the fallout from last night's TLC pay-per-view. Also, on tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw, Ric Flair, the New Age Outlaws, the Boogeyman, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Mean Gene Okerlund, Tommy Dreamer, and Hall of Fame announcer Jim Ross returned. The first match of the night featured Rey Mysterio and Damien Sandow in a one-on-one contest. This was a great match. There was a lot of back-and-forth action. Rey Mysterio picked up the win in this match. Then we go into the first Slammy award of the night. Booker T comes out to present the Tell Me I Did Not Just See That award. And during the presentation, the Boogeyman returns. He ends up interrupting, smashing the clock over his head, and then Booker T says his classic line, Tell Me I Did Not Just See That. Kofi Kingston ends up winning this award for walking on his hands at this year's Royal Rumble a little bit earlier on this year. Then we go into a Divas match. This is a non-title contest between Caitlyn and Eve. This is a great match. Caitlyn controlled the majority of this match. It looks like Eve then had the match won. Caitlyn ended up reversing and securing the win. Caitlyn picked up a huge win over the current Divas champion. I wonder if this is going to put her in line for a future Divas title spot. Then we go to the next Slammy Award. It is Comeback of the Year, and we see the New Age Outlaws, Badass Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg Jesse James. This was a mark-out moment. I grew up with this tag team, and it is one of my favorite tag teams of all time. The nominees are Brock Lesnar, Chris Jericho, D-Generation X, and Jerry the King Lawler for his triumphant return when he came back from having his heart attack. And, quite frankly, we almost lost Jerry the King Lawler. The world almost lost Jerry the King Lawler. Jerry the King Lawler did win this award. He got up from ringside, came running up the ramp, accepted the award, and it was a great moment. Not just as a wrestling fan, but as a fellow human being, to see Jerry the King Lawler go through what he went through and come back and able to still do what he loves to do. Then we go into Kofi Kingston versus Lord Tensai. This is a very quick match. Kofi Kingston ends up picking up the win over Lord Tensai with Trouble in Paradise. Post-match, Wade Barrett comes out, ends up attacking Kofi Kingston. And then we go into the next segment, which is the Kiss of the Year Slammy Award. Vicky Guerrero comes out to present this award. The nominees are AJ and Daniel Bryan, AJ and Kane, AJ and CM Punk, and AJ and John Cena. Do we see a recurring trend? Nah, just kidding, guys. But AJ comes out, and she wins the award, obviously, but it is with John Cena. And she basically kind of cuts a heel promo. She says she doesn't care what Vicky thinks. She doesn't care what anybody thinks. She doesn't care what the fans think. She ends up accepting the award, and Dolph Ziggler comes out. This is after Vicky and AJ start, exchanging some words. Dolph Ziggler comes out and tries to, keep peace. AJ says, oh, you think I've done something yet? She jumps onto Dolph and ends up giving him this huge kiss. Dolph's just embracing her. Vicky freaks out, goes running to the back. AJ goes to the back, and I don't know if Dolph was going running after Vicky or going running after AJ. You know what I'm saying? And a pretty good segment, I do have to say. Great way to, solidify AJ's heel turn from last night at the TLC pay-per-view, where she betrayed John Cena and helped Dolph Ziggler secure the victory in that match, where he was able to retain his Money in the Bank briefcase. Then we go into another quick contest. It's the Great Khali. He comes to ringside with Natalya. I mean, that's kind of an interesting pairing. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. But the Great Khali picked up a quick win over David Otunga, and Khali and Natalya celebrate post-match. Then we go to the Superstar of the Year, Slammy. And before they go to commercial break, they do the signature woo. This is after hyping that there's going to be another huge returning guest to present this award. And, of course, it was none other than Nature Boy Ric Flair. A mark-out moment for me. I've been a wrestling fan my whole life. I was a fan of not only the old WWF, but also WCW and the predecessor, the NWA. And, I mean, to see Ric Flair, it was just a mark-out moment. My God. And my wife is a huge wrestling fan, so she's sitting here marking out with me as well. And Ric Flair comes out, and the nominees are several different superstars. John Cena ends up winning this award. And John Cena, he's a class act, guys. You know what? You hate him, you love him. I'm not saying he's my favorite superstar, but I don't hate him. He gives the award to Ric Flair. Yes, everything in wrestling is predetermined. We all know that. But you know what? In real life, I think John Cena might quite possibly give the award to Ric Flair from what I've heard about this guy. Now, That's just what I've heard. Some people say some things, some people say others. Then we see CM Punk come out, and basically CM Punk challenges Ric Flair. Ric Flair says, hey, you want it? He ends up taking off his coat, throwing it into his face. I mean, absolutely classic. I mean, this is just great so far, and it just gets even better. And basically they go down to the ring. Punk ends up cracking one of his crutches over Ric Flair's back. Flair still manages to get up, though. Ends up poking Punk right in the eye. Punk goes out of the ring. He ends up locking Heyman in the figure 4 leg lock. And then we see the Shield. It looks like Shield is going to come down and beat it down on Ric Flair. This is when Ryback and Team Hell No make the save. I mean, this was a great segment. I was talking with JC Styles. Me and him were debating the segment a little bit before I did my review. And, you know, one of the things that he was saying is, like, they dwelled a little bit too much on this segment. I thought this segment was fantastic. If anything, if any of the other matches needed time, maybe one of the filler matches. Not to say that Great Khali or David Otunga or Kofi or Tensai didn't deserve to be on tonight's card. I mean, every superstar deserves an opportunity to show the world what they can do. But, I mean, this segment was just great. It was incredible. It was a mark-out moment for definitely an old-school wrestling fan like myself. Then we go into Brodus Clay versus JTG. Brodus Clay picks up the win over JTG. There is some back-and-forth action in this match. It wasn't a complete squash. JTG did have the upper hand for, you know, a few moments during this match, but Brodus Clay did pick up the win. Then we go into the LOL moment of the year. Santino and Tensai come out to present this, and I can understand why they did the quick match with Kofi Kingston and Tensai earlier on to set this up. Tensai comes out with the water pack, or the ice pack on his head, excuse me. He ends up tripping as he's coming out. Santino's busting his ass. And Brock ends up winning the LOL moment of the year for the promos he cut on John Cena prior to their match at WrestleMania 28. Brock wasn't able to be there to accept, and the Philly crowd was very vocal in their displeasure about this. I mean, the Philly crowd was just so vocal tonight, and I love a crowd like that. It makes you so much more into the show when the people that are there are into the show. Then we go into Cody Rhodes versus Sin Cara. We know another ongoing match in their feud. Earlier on the night, we saw Sandow and Rey Mysterio mix it up, and now we get Cody Rhodes versus Sin Cara. This is a great match. It actually appeared that Sin Cara had this match won. This is when Cody Rhodes hits the crossroads out of nowhere and secures the victory. Then we go into the hashtag of the year, Slammy Award presentation. Zack Ryder and Layla come out. And I ain't going to lie, guys, I'm a married man, but Layla looked absolutely incredible tonight. I mean, she is beautiful. And they present the hashtag of the year, Slammy Award to Ryback for Feed Me More. Ryback does not come out, but Ryder says he's going to bring the award backstage to him. Then Big Show comes out. He cuts a promo. Sheamus comes out, and Sheamus tries to be the bigger man. Sheamus tries to shake his hand, and then the Big Show starts insulting him. He starts running him down. This is when Sheamus grabs that double-wide XL chair that everybody's saying was a goof, and people are making a joke and a mockery. It was funny. So what? They threw a little gag in there. Jesus Christ. When did we start overanalyzing this to the point that we don't enjoy it anymore? I'm still a wrestling fan. Yes, I provide analysis. Yes, I break the fourth wall. Yes, I find out as much news information as possible. I watch shoots. I read books. I research things. I watch old wrestling. But at the end of the day, I'm still a fan. You know what? So they threw in a little cheap pop. They threw in something that was funny. So what? Let it be. And you know what? Sheamus ends up beating him down with this double XL chair. And we get it, guys. We get the teaser of the night. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat. I mean, guys, most nights I'm doing these reviews, and lately I've been enjoying the shows. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not this excited. I mean, tonight was a phenomenal night on Raw. Last night's pay-per-view was incredible. I can't wait for Super SmackDown tomorrow night. And like I said, the edge of your seat moment, this is where Dolph Ziggler comes out. And it looks like he's going to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on the following big show. Now, they kind of hesitate for a minute. The ref kind of gets mixed up with the ropes. He's talking to the announcer. I can tell that, you know, after a few seconds went by and the bell did not ring, this wasn't going to happen. This is when John Cena comes out and ends up tackling Dolph Ziggler at ringside and ends up costing him his opportunity to cash in the briefcase. The bell never rung, so it is not a missed opportunity. Now, I was talking with another user on Twitter, another user that produces videos here on YouTube, actually a real good user, by the way, Chase Oliver 68. I suggested you check out his channel. And he made a comment, or somebody made a comment to him along the lines that, why is Cena out there defending the Big Show? I don't think Cena was out there defending the Big Show. Now, you can look at it every way. I like to look at every situation and from as many angles possible. Now, honestly, in my opinion, he wasn't out there defending the Big Show. He was out there to get revenge on Dolph Ziggler and cost Dolph Ziggler that opportunity to get the World's Heavyweight title. Then we go into Miz, Del Rio, and their surprise partner, the returning Tommy Dreamer. They square off against three-man band. Miz, Del Rio, and Dreamer are successful. They pick up the win over three-man band. Then we go to the next Slammy Award. Sheamus introduces Ryback as newcomer of the year. And then we get Ryback versus Antonio Cesaro. Now, trust me, guys, I was marking out when I saw this. I marked out a few years ago. Wow, Antonio Cesaro's only been in the WWE less than a year. I marked out a few weeks ago when Cesaro squared off against Sheamus. I mean, what an incredible match. I know you guys must have been on the edge of your seat, and you guys must have been absolutely loving it. I mean, how about when he hit that uppercut coming off the top rope? I mean, it was just some great stuff. And Antonio Cesaro ends up walking away. Looks like he's going to end up winning this match. Looks like he's about to hit the neutralizer. Ryback gains control. Cesaro walks away like any heel does. I mean, non-title confrontation, what's he really got to prove? So he walks away. Ryback gets the win in this match via countout. Then we go to the next Slammy Award. Mean Gene Okerlund, Jim Ross, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat come out to present Match of the Year. The winner is Undertaker and Triple H. Triple H comes out to accept the award, and I was joking around on Twitter. When he first came out, I said, Robert Roode joined WWE. Anything's possible in the WWE these days. And no, Triple H is sporting a new hairstyle. Yes, very similar to Robert Roode. Nice short buzz style. And he accepts the award. He cuts a short promo, and he lets the entire WWE Universe know that we have not seen the last of the dead man, The Undertaker. He will return in the future. And, I mean, this was another mark-out moment. I absolutely loved tonight's show. Then we go backstage. We see the Shield beating down on Tommy Dreamer until the save is made. Then we go to the main event. It's supposed to be AJ and Dolph Ziggler versus Vicky Guerrero and John Cena. AJ ends up leaving during this match. She ends up walking off after mixing it up with Vicky Guerrero a little bit. And then a couple minutes later, she returns with excuse me, guys, my throat's starting to get a little dry. She returns with Big E Langston from NXT. He comes down, absolutely dominates and decimates John Cena and leaves him lying in the ring to end Monday Night Raw. I mean, I am so glad that WWE's decided to bring up this talent. He is one of my favorite talents down in NXT, along with the guys that were just brought up, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. And Roman Reigns is a promising talent, too. Don't get me wrong. He's a member of the legendary Samoan wrestling family. His father's a Hall of Famer. His cousin is Yokozuna. I mean, this guy is just destined for greatness. Now, I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want to know your guys' opinions. What are your thoughts on the 2012 edition of the Slammy Awards and tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw? Drop them below in the comment box. Like I always say, I count on you guys, my fancy subscribers. You got to hear some of my thoughts. Now it's up to you guys to drop your comments below. I can't wait to hear your... Oh, guys, excuse me. My throat was so dry, I'm choking up on my own words. I am so excited. I was marking out for the whole night, and I'll catch you later for the effing brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web. My name is Brian Crazy. Have a great night.